Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Monday, April the 4th, 2022. Troy is having some issues with his voice again and also has two webinars and a Wealth 365 presentation this week. So I'm filling in this week on Monday and Wednesday. I'll be in on my regulars Tuesday and Thursday as well. So we have a get in sync possibility on the YM if it doesn't hit money management. We've got another almost a minute to go. Yeah, there's market open, and it hit money management, so that we will let that one go and wait for the next setup. While we're watching that one and seeing what it's going to do, soybeans picked up well, did it pick it up or not? Yep, we got in sync with it. You can play this one either the original or the add-on, but we're in the long. They're both very close to each other. Bunch of bars right at 9:30, and the initial spike, actually the only one we can play is the original, because the add-on did go too far. Well, I don't know. Yeah, the add-on went too far. It hit money management. So the trade being tracked is the trade plan trade. And the YM setting session lows, still waiting for a new setup there. Unleaded having a tough time. It's had 3 full stops. This successful short, I would say, was most likely untradeable. It was 5 seconds to the first bar closing after the setup and went straight on down from there. And from the looks of that, I'd say that went by our entry too fast to trade, even though it was a winning trade. But now we have yet another. Actually, we had a short there with 14 seconds. So you definitely get in, and then it looks like it stopped and reversed. I hate it when it does that. So that entry would be 21.21. And I can't get my tracking lines in place because that's a multiple bars on the same second setup, and it won't let me grab the later bars. So long on unleaded. And looks like we're stopping and reversing to short on soybeans. And it's looking like the 50 EMA may be providing support, which is not good for our short. Good morning, Brett. Good morning, Miles. Please do say hello so I do know who's in the room. We did have a get in sync possibility on the pound Aussie at the open, or at our start time at 8:30 Eastern, but it was below the entry and never came back up before hitting the stop. So that trade did cancel, and it is flat at the moment. Although we could get a blue trade. Well, blue trade is not part of that trade plan. The trade off the SMA. All right. Long trade probably was not tradable as a get in sync. And we come to short. This is the micro Russell on the Catapult custom Renko bars. And that went too far, went too fast to catch. All right, unleaded hitting money management now trailing at 21.59. We didn't quite get to target 2, but still working on it. That is trade number 5 as I track it, so we can take one more. There's fixed target. There's our target 2. For 89 ticks. And stopping out at 21.79 from 21.21, so 58 on the trailer, and not 85. So we can take one more trade, and with 3 full stop outs, we're not positive yet. It's 8:30 Central, Donald. Start time for M2K. 8:30 Central, which is 9:30 on my timestamps, since my timestamps are Eastern time. And here is a potential long trade at 7447. 50's at 48, so I would actually take that to 51 for my entry, especially as much as the trade has been honoring the 50 EMA. Money management's at 64, so that's where I would put it. All right, back to Russell. That short, definitely too fast. That long probably got in sync. Let's see what it did. 33 to, oh yeah, you definitely would have got, actually, yeah, you would have likely gotten in sync on that one and had a full stop out. Oh, fourth. Now there's a 30-second bar. That's so you're in the short, and it looks like it hits its money management and stops out for a couple of tick loss on a break even stop out. All right, unleaded gave us a short. That was another full stop out for trade number 6. And now it gets an SMA long trade off the simple moving 20 simple moving average. Successful, and well, not successful yet. It's at break even, but we're not. That would not be a valid trade plan trade because that would be the 7th trade. Crude also with a tough morning. The first short on crude was certainly untradeable. Then you pick up the long that stops and reverses to a short for a very small loss. That short is a full stop out. And we get another short with an 11-second bar. So yeah, that's definitely in. And that's a second full stop out. That's our 3 trades on the 9 a.m. mini session. All right, we have YM getting out of its short. It's then giving us a long to get into that goes for a full stop. And now we're in a second long. And the YM looks like it's getting close to money management on this trade. Let's see. Soybeans got to a target 1, a small trail on the short setup. And we pick up a long setup. Stops and reverses to short, stops and reverses back to long. So not a nice, and then stopping out, and then looks like it reversed to short. So tough morning on soybeans. Depending on this, I don't know, that could be. Yeah, actually, that probably did get pretty close to break even or to positive. So 0275 to 0075. So 8 ticks, 8 tick loss times 4 positions. So 32 ticks. Target 1 was worth 14, so that puts us down 18. And we go from 75 to, and we just got 3, so we're still down 15. So we did take that sequence of 3 stop and reverses. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're in trade 6 now. This will be the last trade. And now unleaded breaks down and gives a successful short trade.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled. Order cancelled.
All right, what have we got here? And still just meandering about in soybeans. Break even stop on the second long on the YM. That stop and reverse would be at 52 actually. Between the stop is going to push it down to 54, so then you stop and reverse it to 52. And it did reverse. Actually, did it? No, it didn't reverse. So it stayed in the long and has hit target one, and yeah, hit target one. So we actually did stay in this long trade. That's why we use the stop and reverse adjustment and the key levels. That plotted at 54 because we always key level stops, which that's going to be a stop and reverse. We'd be at 52 or 54, and I'm sorry, that plotted at 56. So we'd move it down to 54 because of the stop.
Order cancel. Order cancel. Order filled.
And then that would have canceled. We'd have still been long when this trade, both of these two trades came up, because our stop is way down here below session low, and we've gone through a 58 tick target. I'm sorry, 38 tick target, and we can now pick up this trailer at 84. Now 89. So the YM, let's see what was our loss on that first trade. 35 ticks risk, 70 ticks loss. We picked up 38, so we're down 32. From a 55, 56 to 55.89 is 30. This is a POQ trade. We're one tick positive at the current stop level, and up to 94. So definitely positive now. This will be a power of quitting trade. Pound Aussie touched its unadjusted entry, but has failed to move through the 50 EMA, and so my adjustment is holding and still flat. $34,604 for the YM stop. Very successful trade now. Getting back all of our 70 ticks lost on the first trade, plus some. $614. So now we're plus 58 ticks on this trailer. We needed 32, so we're plus 26 26, yeah. We're 26 ticks positive on the day at the current stop. Well, let's 619. Take a look at unleaded on Catapult. 8:45 start on the 20 tick range bar. 8:45 Eastern is exchange time. So there's our start time right there. 4 seconds to money management. That's an untradeable. Now you got 30 seconds on that one. That one's definitely tradable. And that's another case of multiple bars. I'll use the stop. So that gets target 3 and a really strong trailer all the way down to 1973. Wholesale price of unleaded over 3 at 320 in the 320 range. Tough to take at the pumps. That was a break even that we took. No trade them along. Have to look at our lower time frame chart. Was tradable or not. Two seconds on the initial bar. The question is, did it trigger in before it hit the stop? And I'm not going to go through that one to get there right now. Same thing with this one. Don't know when it went by. It definitely went above the entry by a couple of ticks, but the question is how fast, and did it hit the stop before it came back up here again? And we get the short 19. Yeah, you got plenty of time to get into that one. So it does hit break even, money management, hits target 3, and you can pick up a couple of ticks on the stop. Long trade, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 7 seconds to money management. That's most likely not tradable. And then it blasts down anyway. Plenty of time with the wick there to get in sync on that one. Gets money management. That's a couple of tick loss on the major key level adjustment. The long. Now 10 seconds. We don't know what happens in these bars, so probably not tradable, but could have come back to our entry. And basically a break-even stop out. So a bunch of break-even trades, and probably would be time to step aside there. And now currently in a short. And the YM all the way up to 662 for the trailer now. Still actually tracking this trade back here that we survived the stop and reverse. Falling back on our rules, we never put with the minor key level. It will allow an entry one tick away from the minor key level, but our rules call for stops to be adjusted at that point. So our stop would be at 54. Therefore, our stop and reverse would be at 52. And we got as low as 54. So there's the stop out at 664 from 556. So 108 ticks on the trailer. So that is net 76 ticks on the day. But as we were looking at unleaded and catapult, I would call that trade a day, not risk giving it back by continuing to trade. So YM is done. Unleaded on catapult is done. Unleaded. Trade unleaded took 6 trades and okay. So difficult day on our energies, except for the catapult unleaded did well. Let's see what heating oil did. That's an 8:30 start, or 9:30 start. That meandered about. Finally came through the entry, hit money management. That's just a break even. Same for the second trade, if even tradable. Excuse me. 3 seconds to money management, so that one's not likely tradable. And that's a no trade on the short. And that's 12 seconds. So that one probably did give you a chance to get an order in. It's money management. And comes back and stops out, it looks like, for another break even. So that's 2 break evens and a couple of too fast to trade. Okay, 31 to 44. Yeah, likely plenty of time to get into that trade. There's a target 3 and a one tick on the break even stop. Actually, it may be. Okay, yeah, entry is 07 and the stop was 08. So 1 tick on the stop. So we have got a target 3 win. Here's an entry at 59.03. 16-second bar, probably tradable again. And that goes back and just ticks us out for another break even. Big down move, but no setups. Nine seconds. Looks like it got to break even, and no, it looks like it missed. Yep, that's another break even. Plenty of time to get in this long. Target 3. This should be the last trade of the session. It's only our second full target, and a partial stop out right around 10 ticks or so. So mediocre day in heating oil, but at least profitable. I'm sorry, I had the comments covered up. Don asking, was 834 tradable on M2K? Sorry about that, Don. So that would be 934. Yeah, I would say that's tradable because absolutely that's tradable. But it's a break even, actually a couple of tick loss. Because of major key level adjustment. Because you've got, 04 to 38, you got 34 seconds before the bar closes. It's not, unless you have something in your rules. I don't have anything in my rules about number of stop and reverses, but most of my trade plans are either three to 6 trades maximum. But yeah, that soybeans sequence of 3 stop and reverses would be tough to stick with. And looks like it makes it 4. No, it's still in the short, actually. So it would still be in this short at 1598 with 2-tick adjustment. 2-tick adjustment here keeps us out, as it would be at 0175, keeps us out of that long. And as I said, this is the last trade, but it's still fighting to get to money management, which is now down below the 200 EMA. And that pound Aussie trade still not breaking through the 50 EMA. The trade is still valid. Having it, since it hit its unadjusted entry, it will remain valid unless it hits its stop. Until it either hits, it'll remain valid until it hits its stop or hits targets. But the entry will remain valid. And some of what we haven't looked at is there's the one I'm looking for. The MNQ, that is a central time, traded in central time, so 8:34 start time, 9:34 on my chart, 8:34 exchange time start. Okay, and we have a setup at 15 seconds after. 3, 3, 3. Well, let's see. Does that? Nope, that bar doesn't come back to the entry. So I would say that hit money management before it got its 44 ticks and came to break even. So that trade went away from us too fast, unfortunately. Beautiful trade. $19.5 and $25.5 points. Target 3 and 4, and more than that. And wow, trailing way up there. Entry is at 904.75 and trails all the way up to 956. So 51 and a quarter points on the trailer. Too bad I'm sure that was too fast to get into. So the short gives us a full stop out to the long. Three seconds to target 1. So that one's another one that went away too fast. Successful trade. I suspect this one wasn't tradable, even though the bar had plenty of time. Well, no, actually that closed down. So yeah, that short definitely tradable. And unfortunately reversing for a full stop out. And the long goes for a full stop out. Short for it. That's 3 losses. Time to get out. 3 full losses in a row. I believe that's trade plan. Is get it 3 losses is a stop point. So lots of movement, but not across the board success. So soybeans still in trade number 6, just missing target again. Here's where you have to know the plan a little bit. Because of the avoided stop and reverse that triggered in unadjusted, the system thinks it's now flat, so it will show long trades against this trend indicator, but soybeans is on counterpunch here is in hybrid mode, which means it will not take a stop and reverse against that trend indicator. So you'll have to do manually at this point. As long as that trend indicator stays red, it will not you should not take a short stop and reverse or long stop and reverse, which is what's about to set up right here. It looks like the 50 EMA is providing resistance there. Oh, I missed the 10 a.m. crude session. Oh, with all of the things we've been watching. So let's see what that looks like. Obviously, I didn't trade it. Okay, there's 10 o'clock. So we have did we get target 1? 103.70. Oh, we missed it by 1. And then stopped out for a tick. Actually, that entry was at 56, and session high was at 58. I think I would have pushed that to 59 and would have needed to go 69, which is exactly what it hit. So, yes, same. Still missed target by 1 tick. So that's 1, and we have a short that does trigger in. And that one's going to have to go just beyond target 1 for money management, which it does. And that it stops out for a single tick again, and that's 2 break-even trades. That's POQ. 2 money management trades, getting a 1 tick each. So 10 a.m. session is basically a wash. Now here's a nice little trade on the MNQ. And there's a wick that will show you definitely would have had time to get into that. Hitting target 3. Stop now at 2250, 15.02250, 25 now. And okay. So we now the indicator turned blue on this down bar. So our stop and reverse is at 1650. And we haven't touched it, so we're still short, believe it or not. And the pound Aussie finally came up, and I don't know if it actually hit. Yep, hit 51 right on the nose. So we're now in that long trade, even with the adjustment. All right, questions this morning. More questions this morning. We're pretty well done with our charts. Soybeans is the only thing that's really still soybeans and the pound Aussie. Seeing if we can make something with the pound Aussie. So what is it going to give us now? And we did finally stop and reverse. We actually stopped out at 16.050 with the valid stop and reverse. That was our sixth trade on soybeans. So several. Today was a picture of a losing day. Back and forth price action that doesn't extend. But losing days are a part of trading. And that's why we do have trade plans that try to limit our losses. Yeah. And now crude starts to throw winning trades. Oh well. Down to only 6 of you. Not a very interesting morning, I will definitely give you that. And for grins, let's look at the Catapult Micro ES. look at the 5-minute chart and see what it did this morning. Okay, it gave us, it's an 8:35 start for the first, it's a mini session plan as well. 8:35 to 9 o'clock. So that's 9:35 to 10 on my charts. First trade possibility setup is at 9:35 with the short, no trigger. Then we get a long setup at 45.44 at 9:50. That triggers in, hits money management. Okay, or actually hits target 1 and target 2 and is trailing. No, it stopped out at 47.25. So 3.25 points on the trailer, 6.5 and 10 points on the 2 targets achieved. So 19.75 points at $5 a point. Actually, more than that, because if you had 5 positions on, you still had 3 on at that 3.25. So that's 9.75 by itself. So 26.25. 26.25 points. So $125 trade, $125, $130 trade, $130 plus trade. Not bad for single contract. That's effectively a half of one contract equivalent on the full NQ. Questions or comments? And it looks like we're dwindling. So I believe everything that Micro ES and Pound Aussie are actually, Micro ES is done. That finished off the session. We don't have anything else coming up until 10:30. But Pound Aussie is in the long, and that's all that's running right now. So I'm going to call it a morning at 10:30. Unless I get some questions. Thank you, Pamela. You have a good afternoon, and we'll see everybody in the morning. Back again at 9:30.